Hi, Minute Wolf here, and welcome to Morphers Club, Chapter 1, titled The Day Of. Page 1. An extreme long shot of a pretty standard high school in Japan. Kenji's inner monologue. Today is my 16th birthday, and I can't wait for it to end. Anything that was once enjoyable seems to be painful nowadays. Kenji is alone on the rooftop kicking a can against the wall. I guess it's been that way ever since my dad was diagnosed with cancer, watching on without a single thing I can do to help. It was then that I realized how truly vulnerable and helpless we are. Kenji picks up the can. Kenji throws the can off the rooftop and screams in pain to let out all the pain. Down from the school grounds where teenagers are gathered, we see Flynn, another character. He looks up at the school rooftop. The can is mid-air, flying. Kenji is on his knees and hands. Sometimes it helps to scream, he says. The door to the rooftop that Kenji's on bangs open. Somebody kicks it open, flies open. Three young bullies enter. One stands out as the leader. He is more masculine and taller than the other two, and his name is Kaz. Kaz has a smirk on his face. "Kenji, you shithead, what are you crying about this time?" he exclaims. Close up on Kenji, who's giving him sort of a death stare. "Now's not the time for this, Kaz," he replies. Kaz points towards Kenji. "It's never the right time with you, but I like you angry. Your rage makes you a worthy opponent," he exclaims. He tells his other two friends, "Go get him." The two boys stand on either side of Kenji. Kaz stands right in front of him. Kenji, in anger, clenches his fist down by his right side. Kenji stands up. He was on his knees, he stands up. You really need to look into finding a better hobby," Kenji says. We see a shot of Kaz running towards Kenji with a clenched fist. So he's running from a distance and he's about to punch him. As he's doing this, he screams, "I can't help it, I enjoy inflicting pain onto others way too much, especially you." Kenji evades the swing by ducking. Kaz follows through, running past him. So now he's located behind, Kaz is behind Kenji. Kenji stands up straight and lifts his clenched fist to the sky, like a superhero pose. Close up of Kenji's elbow smashing into one of the boys' faces. So Kenji, from a fist in the sky, does this action. I'm playing it out for you guys. Does this to the opponent on his right with the elbow, and then here I've written sound effects crack, that kid's face being smashed into, and then Kenji immediately from the elbow hit connects through to the guy to his left, punches him down. So both those two guys are out of the fight for now. Close up of enraged Kenji turning his head back towards Kaz. "Do you enjoy the pain your friends endure as well?" Kenji asks Kaz. There's a close up of Kaz's boot kicking Kenji in the back, because he's behind him now, and Kenji falls face first onto the ground. Kaz towers over Kenji's body on the floor. "Friends double up as great decoys," he replies, laughing in a very evil manner. Kenji turns over, still on the ground. "That kind of mindset will be your downfall," he replies. Kaz prepares to stomp on Kenji while he says, "I didn't ask for your advice." Kenji evades by rolling between Kaz's legs, and in one motion, Kenji quickly stands up, jumps on top of Kaz, and chokes Kaz from behind with his arm. Kaz, running out of breath, starts to look a bit concerned, and then all of a sudden, kind of smirk rises into his look, and grabs Kenji from the shirt in one motion, flips him over his head. Kaz holds Kenji by the neck, choking him mid-air. So Kaz has kind of got Kenji mid-air holding him. "Come on, you're better than this," Kaz tells Kenji. "You knew that wasn't going to work. Your limitless rage seems to be blinding you," he continues to tell Kenji. Kaz punches Kenji square in the face. He's got the better of him. Kenji goes flying to the ground. Close up of a smoking Kenji wiping his nosebleed. So we see him just kind of, he's kind of enjoying this as well, because this is for him is like an outlet for his anger with the things that are going on in his life. Oh, you wait, I'm only just getting started, Kenji replies, when, again, from the rooftop door, we see Principal Hinami and Flynn, who was previously down on the school grounds, appear at the rooftop door. I knew there was trouble brewing, Flynn exclaims. I was right to call you, Principal Hinami. What is going on here? You two, my office now. So the principal calls both Kaz and Kenji into her office, the principal's office. Principal Hinami sits at her desk with Kenji. He has tissue stuffed up his nose to stop the bleeding, and Kenji's mother is also present. Sorry to have called you in, but this is the 7th time this month that Kenji has been involved in an incident, so he's kind of a troublesome student right now. Principal Hinami continues, skipping class, disobeying his teachers, fighting with students. Now I understand why he is acting this way, but I can't have him continue disrupting the school environment as such. I'm going to have to suspend him until further notice, Hinami tells Kenji's mother. Kenji interrupts by saying, fine by me. He's more than thrilled or doesn't really care about the idea of being suspended. We have a close-up on Kenji's mother. Kenji, she replies, I'm working during school hours. I wouldn't be able to care for him. Isn't there another way? She asked the principal. Kenji, uncomfortable by the whole situation, is fiddling with his hands. Kenji is a big boy. I'm sure he can take care of himself, Principal Hinami replies to Kenji's mother. Kenji's mother says, it's just I don't want to leave him alone. School kept him occupied and busy, so he wasn't always so... Principal Hinami, depressed? Is how she replies. I understand, and I'm sorry it has come to this, but I really think it's best if Kenji had some time off school to gather his thoughts. Kenji's mother looks at Kenji in disappointment. Go on then, pack your bag, she tells Kenji. In the classroom we have Manu Sensei, who stands at the board explaining something to the students. Manu Sensei continues. It is thought that roughly 18,000 asteroids over the weight of 10 grams collide with Earth in a year. Why do you think it is that we don't see these asteroids or hear about their collision? Flynn, who we previously saw breaking up the fight with the principal, has his hand raised up very, very high. The next next to him is empty. Kaz, who was also in the fight, is sitting in the back corner. He screams out, nerd, to Flynn, who is the only one that has his hand raised up. Kaz, that's warning one, Manu Sensei screams out. And yes, Flynn, continue. Please, answer. Flynn, is it because the size of the asteroid is so insignificant that it fizzles out by the time it makes contact with our atmosphere? Manu Sensei is rather excited by this answer. Correct. There is a knock at the door. Come in, Manu Sensei says. Kenji enters the classroom, bowing before he enters. Manu Sensei continues. And so it is thought that unlike the ones that collide with no consequence, a significant asteroid that can destroy a city collides with the Earth every century, give or take a few decades. The last notable one hit a Siberian forest, taking out a 2,000-kilometer area, though nothing like that meteor that hit causing the extinction of the dinosaurs has hit again. Thankfully, later today, take a good look at the sky. Good look at the sky, because we're all going to witness a very unlikely occurrence. The first of 3 asteroids on a collision course with Earth will hit today, and they're going to cause some damage. But do not fear, the asteroids are projected to fall into vicinities marked as safe zones. So here Manu Sensei is explaining the phenomenon of asteroids hitting, meteors hitting the Earth, and there are 3 that are to be hitting Japan the day of this particular episode. So this is where our story begins. Kenji packs his bags at his desk. Flynn sits at the desk beside him. Hey, how'd it go? He asks Kenji. Not so well, I got suspended, Kenji replies. Close up on Finn pulling his hair stressed. What? I told the principal so I could get out of the situation with minimal repercussions. I'm sorry. It's fine, it doesn't matter. I'm so useless trying to help a friend in need and I blew it. Got you in more trouble than you were in, Flynn says to Kenji. Kenji's close up. Kenji puts his books in his bag. I told you it's okay, I really don't care, says Kenji. The class. Manu Sensei continues explaining. Manu Sensei asks Kenji, Kenji, would you like to share with the class what's so important and can't be discussed at a later time? Kenji replies, well, Manu Sensei, I was just thinking how this unlikely occurrence that's about to take place. Is it out of the realm of possibility that this event could be a precursor for more such asteroids to collide with Earth in a manner that kickstarts the extinction of our humanity, just like the extinction of dinosaurs? In the back of the class, Kaz and the other bullies are bandaged up, and Kaz says, only a depressed, twisted mind would come up with something like that. Kaz, that's your second warning, Manu Sensei screams out. Interesting point you make there, Kenji. Kenji walks to exit the classroom. Wait, where do you think you're going, Kenji? Manu Sensei says. I've been suspended, sir. Oh, I see. And Kaz screams out, loser. Manu Sensei, Kaz, that's 3. Get out of here. So he gets Kaz gets thrown out of class for his remarks. Kenji walks down the school corridor, and Mei is standing at her locker. Mei turns her head to notice Kenji. Are you alright? She says. Yeah, everything's fine, Mei. Kenji continues to walk down the corridor. Oh, happy birthday, by the way, she exclaims. Kenji turns the corner, leaving. Mei looks kind of sad, and she continues on with what she was doing. So Kenji doesn't really give her any time of day, even though they seem to have met and known each other before. The next scene, we're at the hospital reception. Kenji and his mother stand with the nurse. The nurse continues, Dr. Sun would like a word with you. Kenji's mother replies, I understand. Kenji, why don't you go on up to your father's room? Kenji stands against the wall near a door. We see a close up on Kenji's serious face. Kenji tries to force a smile, and he enters into his father's room. With a completely unfamiliar expression, he seems very happy and cheerful. He's obviously kind of forcing himself to be a bit more upbeat near his ill father. Hey Dad, you won't believe what we did today at school. Kenji's father, with a weak, tired smile, lies in bed surrounded by balloons and a happy birthday Kenji sign hanging above him. He coughs. Happy birthday, son. He musters up the energy to be a bit more upbeat than he usually is. Kenji has a shocked reaction. You didn't have to, he replies. Mid-shot of Kenji's father. Didn't have to, he says. My son's birthday comes around once a year. I wasn't going to just sit around on my ass, though I don't really have a choice now but to sit, do I? He laughs, coughing at the same time. Kenji stands across his father with a more genuine smile. He's a bit more relaxed and a bit more happy that, kind of conversing with his father. Kenji continues, you know what I meant, Dad. Kenji's father. Come closer, Kenji. Come a little closer to me. Kenji stands right beside his father's bed, his hand on the bed's side rail. It's no secret that my condition isn't getting any better. I'm dying, Kenji, he says. Kenji quickly intervenes. Don't say that, Dad. It's the truth, Kenji's father continues. I'm telling you not to upset you, but to prepare you. It's okay to be angry, sad, and feel like the world's working against you. But there comes a time where you need to lift your head up and look at what remains. He proceeds to cough. It's okay, Dad, don't push yourself. Rest, Kenji says. Kenji's father continues to cough heavily. There's blood in his hands. No, it's not okay, Kenji's father says. Kenji replies, should I call a nurse? He's very taken back by this blood in his father's hands. Kenji's father holds Kenji's right hand with both his hands. No, listen, Kenji. I never thought I'd be leaving you with such a burden at this age, but once I'm gone, it's just you and your mother. You must become the pillar, the rock, that holds everything together. At times you must be hard, emotionless, and immovable object, and at times shine so bright, and be vulnerable, and many other things, all for the ones you love. He proceeds to cough again, very heavily. Kenji's father smiles with blood flowing out of his nose and mouth. I can no longer be those things, he continues. I leave it, son. Kenji's father's hand drops, leaving Kenji's head mid-air and covered in blood. The heart monitor flatlines. Kenji's father's heart stops. Kenji screams out, Dad, Dad, I promise I'm going to be a rock. I'm going to be the rock, the support that Mum needs. I won't let you down. Just don't leave. Not yet. A nurse rushes into the room. What happened? Kenji replies, he was talking 1 second, and then he just the doctor rushes into the room, Dr. Sun. He stands beside Kenji's father, checking his pulse. I'm going to need you to exit the room now, he says to Kenji, but is he going to be okay? Please, we need you to clear the room, the nurse says. Kenji, out in the corridor, looks at his hand covered in blood. Kenji's mother runs towards Kenji, who is slouched on the ground. What happened? She says. Kenji doesn't reply. Kenji, answer me. Kenji, with an uncomfortably blank expression, even more than before, just very silently says, he's gone. Kenji's mother cries with her hands in her face. Kenji stands up against the wall. It's okay, Mum, he says. Kenji catches his mother before she falls to the ground, holds her, supporting her. I'm here for you. I'll always be here for you. End of scene. Kenji's mother drives the car while still crying, her tears flowing from her face. Kenji's in the passenger seat beside her. On the car radio, we hear the host. The first of 3 asteroids calculated to cause an impact with Earth should be flying over the city skyline right about now. So if you have a look, do so. This is a once-in-a-lifetime sight. Kenji looks up from the car window to see a single asteroid flying over the metropolitan city skyline, leaving a streak of a cloud, a misty, different color, like an orange or pink kind of color, behind it. And there it is, the radio host exclaims, though it seems to be leaving an odd-colored purple cloud behind it. I can only assume that's a side effect of the speed the asteroid is traveling at. Flynn looks out his window at home. So setting has changed. We're in Flynn's house. Flynn looks out his window at home, a telescope beside him. Flynn puts his eye to the telescope. Come on, where are you? Where? He's looking for the asteroid. Flynn twists the dial on the telescope. There you are, but wait, that's not... he exclaims. Flynn stands away from the telescope, scared, confused. He quickly reaches over to his laptop and starts typing something in. We're now with Kenji and his mother at the dinner table. The room is slightly decorated for his birthday. Your father's funeral will be held tomorrow, she says. I'll need to iron you a shirt. I can handle that, Mum, Kenji says. Don't worry about it. Kenji's mother gets up. It's been a long day. I'm heading to bed. You should also get some rest. Kenji, before his mother leaves, says, We're going to get through this, Mum. You and me. Kenji's mother gives a hint of a smile. Good night, Kenji. Kenji turns to some photo frames on the wall. A family photo. Kenji's father, looking much healthier, holds a slightly younger Kenji on his shoulders. Kenji holds a trophy in their hair. His mum is beside them. They're all smiling. All together. A family. One. Kenji lies on his bed. He's moved into his room. There's a buzz at his night drawer. It's his phone. He picks up the mobile. Flynn is calling. He answers. Yo, Kenji, you're not going to believe what I've got to tell you, Flynn says. What is it? Kenji replies. You know the first asteroid that came down? It wasn't an asteroid. Kenji asks, what do you mean? I mean, I looked at it with my telescope and that thing resembles a space rock, but it's far from it. I did a little research on it and all media outlets are tight-lipped about it. It seems the government's got a hand in this situation and they're trying to hide whatever the truth is. Kenji seems uninterested. He doesn't really care. It's the last thing that's on his mind. Flynn, I'm sorry, but I'm really not in the mood for any sort of space or conspiracy theory related talk right now. Flynn is on his laptop. If only you saw it with your own eyes, you'd know what I meant. Kenji doesn't reply. I mean, forget it. It was probably just me imagining what I wanted to be real, right? Anyway, happy birthday one last time before the day's over. Kenji replies, Flynn. He's gone. My father, he's dead. Flynn replies, are you serious? I mean, I'm sorry, is there anything I can do for you? Kenji doesn't reply. But he coughs, successively twice. Kenji holds his mouth, coughing. He continues to cough. Flynn on the phone asks him, Kenji, are you there? Is everything okay? Kenji looks down at his palm. I gotta go, Flynn. I'll talk to you later. Kenji's palm is covered in blood. Kenji clenches his fist and has a determined look on his face. And inside, he thinks to himself, I've got to be the rock that holds everything together. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed. Just realized that the video got very long. So chapter 1, actually, as you may know, traditionally chapters are 40 pages when manga first begins. So I overwrote, like the chapter ends at the 40-page mark, and I got around halfway through that. I don't know how the pacing was, maybe a bit slow. Again, sound off in the comments. I want to hear what you've got to say. But I'm breaking the chapter up into 2 parts. So this was part 1 of chapter 1. Part 2 is going to be a separate video where there is a bit more revelation in terms of what's going on with the asteroids having hit Japan, and Kenji's situation further unfolds. If you enjoyed, if you want to continue enjoying and seeing our progress and development together, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you in part 2 and chapters to come. Thanks for watching and listening. Minute Wolf, out.